You know, when you think about like high stakes intellectual property theft, there's a very specific image that usually pops into your head.
Oh, for sure. It's always like corporate espionage.
Right. You picture these tech giants in Silicon Valley, hiding server hard drives or massive pharmaceutical companies locking down their R&D labs.
Yeah, or some intense boardroom drama at an aerospace company.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You picture big business defending billions of dollars.
It's a very corporate, highly guarded scenario. I mean, the assumption is always that the victims of IP theft are these entities that are aggressively maximizing their profit margins.
Right.
The traditional view of intellectual property is just inextricably linked to commercial enterprise.
But what you absolutely do not picture is your local food bank
No, definitely not.
or a global wildlife charity or
Yeah.
a nonprofit working to provide clean water in developing nations. You just don't picture the organizations that are trying to do good in the world.
You really don't.
And yet, those are the exact organizations currently sitting in the crosshairs. So, welcome to today's deep dive.
It's a wild topic
And
today.
it really is. Our mission today is to explore this truly fascinating new campaign called Protect the Orgᴵᴾ. It was launched by a company called Instant IP, and we are going straight into the heart of their initiative to uncover how the rapid advancement of artificial intelligence is actively threatening the very organizations trying to do the most good in the world.
Yeah, and crucially, how those organizations can actually fight back.
Exactly. Okay, let's unpack this. Because before we can even talk about how artificial intelligence is extracting value from nonprofits, we really have to tackle the massive misconception that nonprofits have anything valuable to take in the first place.
Right, and that misconception is deeply embedded in the culture of these organizations. The sources state that nonprofits and NGOs exist to serve, sacrifice, and solve some of the world's greatest problems.
That's their whole mission.
Exactly. That is their operational DNA.
Yeah.
Their entire model is built around giving things away, whether that's time or resources or knowledge. The default setting is just open source altruism.
They aren't hoarding secrets. I mean, the mandate is to share solutions so that more people actually get help.
But that mindset creates a massive institutional blind spot. Kary Oberbrunner, who is the CEO of Instant IP, he highlights this perfectly in the campaign material.
What does he say?
He notes a really interesting quote. He says, nonprofits often believe they do not have intellectual property because they are not traditional businesses.
Wow.
Yeah, they equate IP with like physical consumer products, software code, or patented mechanical inventions.
Because they aren't selling a smartphone, they think it doesn't apply.
Exactly. Because a charity isn't selling a prescription drug, they assume the concept of intellectual property simply doesn't apply to their operations at all.
But when you stop and actually look at what these organizations produce, according to the sources, that assumption falls apart completely. The list of what constitutes nonprofit intellectual property is actually extensive.
Oh, it's huge.
We are talking about their community programs, their educational curricula, their overarching strategies. We're talking about highly engineered donor campaigns, internal training materials, operational frameworks, live events, videos, and their core messaging.
Right. When you lay it all out like that, you realize these organizations are essentially massive content and strategy generation engines.
Really, they are.
And all of those elements, the curricula, the frameworks, the donor campaigns, they take an enormous amount of human ingenuity, trial and error, and lived experience to create.
Years of work, usually.
Exactly. They are highly refined, battle-tested assets. Oberbrunner synthesizes this reality into a core rule that really cuts through the noise. He says, differentiation is intellectual property.
Differentiation is intellectual property. I like that.
Right. If your charity has developed a uniquely effective way to rehabilitate injured wildlife, that unique method, that differentiation, that is your IP.
To put it in perspective for you listening, think about it like a secret family recipe at a charity bake sale.
Oh, that's a good analogy.
Right. Your goal is to give the cookies away to help people. You want people to enjoy them. But just because you are giving the cookies away doesn't mean you want a massive corporation taking your specific recipe, mass producing it under their own name, and making millions without giving you any credit.
No, of course not.
Yeah.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, the very altruistic nature of these organizations is exactly what makes them vulnerable.
Because they want to share the recipe.
Exactly. Because their mandate is to solve problems and share those solutions, they routinely publish their frameworks online, they share their training materials openly, they broadcast their unique messaging.
They leave the vault door wide open.
Yes, they put the blueprint out there because they want to maximize their impact. And historically, leaving the vault door open wasn't an existential threat because reverse engineering a framework or a curriculum, it took a significant amount of human effort.
It took time, it took resources, and people generally respected the boundaries of charity work. You didn't steal from a charity.
Right. But now that equation has changed overnight because algorithms do not sleep.
No, they don't.
The open vault door is just an invitation,
Yeah.
and the modern entity walking right through it is artificial intelligence.
Okay, so now that we've established that nonprofits do possess this highly valuable secret sauce, we naturally have to look at the predator hunting for that data.
Yeah, the AI data vacuum.
Hmm.
And to really understand the mechanics of this threat, it helps to look at Kary Oberbrunner's background because it gives him a lot of credibility here.
He's not just a tech guy, right?
No, not at all. Both of his parents worked in nonprofit organizations, and his own first career, which spanned 12 years, was entirely in the nonprofit sector before he transitioned into being an entrepreneur and an author.
Oh, wow. So he spent over a decade in the trenches with these organizations. He actually understands the culture, the razor-thin budgets, the whole thing.
Exactly. He knows the institutional vulnerabilities from the inside out. And from that vantage point, he brings up a very nuanced stance on the tech. He says, AI is not bad. It is a powerful tool. But AI models need new data.
Right.
That is the crux of the issue. Large language models and AI systems are basically massive pattern recognition engines. They can only generate outputs based on the inputs they have digested.
So they are hungry.
Very. To continue improving, to stay relevant, and to answer complex questions about human social issues, they require continuous streams of fresh, human-created data.
If an AI wants to know how to effectively structure a disaster relief campaign, it has to read the frameworks of the humans who actually figured it out in the real world first.
Yes, the AI scrapers sweep across the internet, consuming all that open data published by nonprofits. If unprotected, original ideas are scraped, trained on, repackaged, and used without the creator's knowledge, permission, or compensation.
Wait, let me push back on this slightly.
Sure.
Is this just happening on the web? Like, are we just talking about an AI reading a charity's website or, scanning a PDF annual report? Or is the threat bigger than that?
That is such a good question, because this is the most shocking detail from the text. The threat has evolved aggressively into the physical world.
Wait, really? The physical world?
Yeah, we are talking about the rise of wearable AI devices.
Like what?
The smart glasses, smart pens, AI-integrated rings, pendants, watches, what the campaign broadly categorizes as always-on recording tools.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they are constantly absorbing human-created data in the physical world. The spaces where humans collaborate, ideate, and strategize are now active data-gathering zones.
So if you have a team of aid workers sitting in a closed-door conference room brainstorming a completely original campaign,
Whiteboarding ideas, building an asset from scratch, yeah.
and someone in that room, maybe a third-party vendor or just a new volunteer, is wearing a pair of smart glasses or a subtle AI pendant.
That device is passively recording, transcribing, and uploading that entire brainstorm into a third-party AI model's training set in real time.
That is terrifying. You don't even need to publish a PDF anymore. The extraction happens at the exact moment of creation.
Exactly. It completely bypasses the digital footprint, which makes the quote you mentioned earlier so profound.
Right, the quote from the campaign. To emphasize the stark reality of this, Kary says, your ideas are either protected or they are training someone else's model.
It is a binary reality now. If you haven't protected it, it's free training data.
Okay, having established this ubiquitous escalating threat to these really mission-critical assets, I know you listening are naturally wondering what defense mechanism actually exists.
Because telling a charity to hire an expensive IP law firm is a non-starter.
Right. They don't have the time or the legal budget to fight big tech. So this transitions us perfectly to Instant IP's technological solution.
Which is Protect the Org IP.
Let's talk about how this actually works.
So Instant IP uses a blockchain-based protection system.
And just to jump in and demystify the blockchain aspect for you listening, because I know that word carries crypto baggage, it helps to think of this like an unbreakable digital notary public.
Yes, that's a great way to look at it.
It instantly stamps your work and locks the proof of your originality into a vault that can never be altered.
Exactly. It allows organizations to create a time-stamped, tamper-resistant record of their original work. It generates a cryptographic hash of that specific document or file, recording exactly what the idea is, who created it, and the exact millisecond it was created.
And the sources note this is faster, easier, and significantly more affordable than traditional IP protection methods like patents or trademarks.
Which take months or years and cost tens of thousands of dollars.
Right. But this raises the question, how does a digital receipt stop an AI from scraping it anyway?
The AI doesn't care about the receipt, but the human institutions do. Having that immutable proof gives the nonprofit legal leverage. They can issue targeted DMCA takedowns, enforce licensing, and most importantly, prove to grant organizations that they are the actual originators of a framework.
Oh, that makes sense. If two charities are applying for the same massive grant using similar methods, the one with the blockchain proof wins.
Precisely. And this raises an important question, which is why do organizations wait so long to protect themselves?
They think they're too small.
Right. Bringing the central message of the campaign. Nonprofits shouldn't wait until they are large to protect their IP.
They need to do it now.
Right. There are two key quotes from Oberbrunner here. First, the organizations doing the most good in the world should not be the easiest to exploit.
Powerful.
And second, you do not protect your IP when you are big. You become big by protecting your IP.
And Instant IP actually provides incentives for this adoption, right?
Yeah, they do. They offer a free IP credit to NGOs and nonprofits to start. They offer special discounts, and they even offer a way to create a lifetime income stream by sharing the tool with other leaders in their network.
So they can actually earn revenue by advocating for better IP practices.
Exactly. Reversing the whole paradigm from a cost to a benefit.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
So to summarize all of this for you listening, whether you run a charity, work for one, or just support them, recognizing the hidden value of unique ideas is really the first step to sustainability.
Absolutely. The landscape is just different now.
If you want to check it out, nonprofits can get their first free IP credit and learn more at instanttip.today/giver/.
It's simply worth looking into, but, as we wrap up, I want to leave you with a final thought to mull over that builds on the source material we've been discussing.
I'd love to hear it.
So, the sources state that nonprofits exist to serve and sacrifice, right?
Right.
Well, if AI systems successfully scrape and absorb all the innovative strategies, all the donor campaigns, and the programs from today's charities, what happens next? Will the future of philanthropy be entirely generated and automated by machines?
Oh, wow. Just algorithmic charities running on autopilot.
Yeah. And if a machine is running the charity, do we lose that vital human element of sacrifice that made the work meaningful in the first place?
Because the machine doesn't sacrifice anything. It just computes.
Exactly.
That is a wild thought to end on. You really have to wonder what the future of charity looks like if all the human ingenuity is just extracted.
Well, definitely something for you to think about. We will catch you on the next deep dive.